Hi Sybil, it's Annette here, and I'm filming my dad. You get to see the barn and get his explanation. Bessie says, this ain't your ordinary barn.
Okay, hi Sybil. This tour will be especially for you. I said, now this is just an ordinary barn, a very old barn. It's older than I am, and which is old. And as you will see, what the painting is on is not what Rembrandt would have chosen to paint on. But again, I'm not Rembrandt. So I painted over and above and around every obstacle that there was on the wall. So I'll just show you what I did. Okay, just pan on the, now this is the inside of the barn door. And years ago when I'd come here, I would look at that barn door and I would see a canvas. And I kept saying, someday I'm going to paint that. So one day I got the inspiration, and this village is old in itself, and years ago it was a fishing and farming community, and these were the type of ships that the fishermen would fish on. They're known as schooners. There were no engines aboard. They were just powered by sail, and I have them drawn as if they were drying their sails. And I have 3 daughters, and each named after one of them. It had only been my intention to do the door, but when I got to the corner, I decided to continue, and artifacts in the barn, old hand wrought iron, the hinges and so on, and I would nail them to the wall. So I made kind of a simulated shed, which is what you're seeing now. That window is not a window, as you can tell. It's only painted. And then again, it dawned on me that we had 4 seasons in a year. And then there were 4 walls in the barn, so I said, why don't I make a wall per season? So this will be the summer wall. But I didn't do a great deal in the summer wall. There were too many obstructions. There was a bench, and which I did not want to remove. So the summer wall did not receive too much attention. But I had most of the houses that you'll see here is the architect of, or the architecture of the type of buildings that are in these villages. The old architecture, not the newer buildings. So I put a school, a church, and some buildings, and then I got myself to a corner here where I had to transition to a different season, but this was a kind of a tall wall, so I made it. I put a sky and a sea, an ocean, and some of the schooners heading out to sea, and then there's a couple of fishermen on dories, which have just arrived from dory fishing. And that's, as you can see, the road which follows the coast is a continuation of the summer wall. So then, as we transition to the middle of the wall, we are nearing the fall, and and so on. Here I am making in the village as a farming community, and they had the mode of transportation and work were by oxen, and so I put oxen and carts, and you will notice here it wasn't the modern time. There was no electricity here, so the facilities were what is known as outhouses. So there's a little old lady here running to the outhouse, if you can see it. And then the rest of the houses, there was a woman here at the well, and she had just put her clothes on the line. And then the fall foliage is beginning to turn, and around here it gets to be really colorful. So I try to depict that on the, in the painting. And I placed houses here and there. In fact, this one here never got finished by the looks of it. And but again, you see cattle and people walking away. And when I got to this corner, when the fall is going to start to turn into winter, then my young granddaughter said to me, "Hey, Grampy, aren't you going to put your own house in here?" Which I hadn't thought of doing. So I did that at the beginning of this corner. And this is the barn that we are in right now, right here. And this is the house that we live in when we are here in the summer. So as you can notice, the sky is starting to turn gray, and on the winter wall I made 6 panels. So it was kind of the beginning of the winter, and here on this panel it was the beginning of a snowstorm. As you can see, flakes coming down. And the third panel, I had a full-blown snowstorm. So the fourth panel, it was after the storm, and people were, the man there shoveling his driveway, and kids have shoveled a pond, so where they're skating, and it's a sunny day, a few shadows, and of course, being in the winter, I couldn't not include Christmas and Santa Claus. So I have this panel is at night, and I took a artistic liberty to put lights on the tree, although there was no electricity. So anyway, that's a little liberty that I am allowed. So the sixth panel is the snow is beginning to melt, and a little rivulet of water is starting to form from the woods, and then we transition into the spring wall. And now this part here is another door, but I made uh, again a farming scene where the men or the farmer is plowing his field, and his barn, his cattle, and she's heading with a load of clothes to put on a line, and the well, of course. So this, then of course the only actual, other than our house, the only actual house here that's in the village is this one here. This house here still stands, and the barn still stands, but unfortunately age is taking its toll. It used to look like that, but now it's in decrepit, it's very, it's going down. It's a shame. So I'm glad I thought of putting it there. It will keep it for prosperity. So beyond that, now the next one is the harvesting of the farm. On this panel here, this is a thing when they're in bloom, and down here they're harvesting the product. And so what I did was to kind of simulate a village that used to be like at the turn of the century, how they worked and how they transported and how they worked. And so now we're coming to the second door of the barn. So I will close it now.
Do you want me to get it?
So now I completed the picture of the wall, of the fish. So this took me about 10 years to do that. And I always like to start my little tour by saying it took me 10 years to go from here to here. Because I started here, worked my way around, and finished here. So that completed there's some deterioration here that would have to be replaced. But so that's the story of my barn. And then you can take a picture from here on that tall wall.
Oh yes, it's beautiful. And then the rest of the barn is a
And the rest
loft.
of the barn is all
kinds of
was,
antiques.
Did you take
It's an
a
amazing
full
place.
view of the barn? I mean of the doors
Yes,
from a distance?
yes. Here it is. The start and the finish to a great project. Anything else?
Yep, that's it.
All right.
That's the tour.
Bye, Sybil. Love you.
Sybil, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.